just going to, just a minute, just going to, trying to get the list of, okay, I think they'll just do the introduction of their teammates. So I know that on Team Gamma, we have Adefiyo Oluwadotun, we have Adara Maja Omolola, we have Oyajuma Abiola, we have Oni Olushola Folake, and we have Owoyemi Oluwafumibi and Valentine. Yes. So Dotun and Abiola, Team Gamma, you have 15 minutes for your presentation, and you can take it away.
Okay, Dotun, can you give Dotun access to present?
Yes, Dotun is, yes, he has the access to present.
Okay, Dotun, can you give Dotun access to present?
Yes, Dotun is, yes, he has the access to present.
Okay, good morning, everybody. This is a Gamma team, which comprises of Abiola, Dotun, Val, Folake, and Oluwafunbi. Next slide. So I'll be walking us through, and it will be walking us through background, campaign analytics, product performance, retention, analytics, strategy, and conclusion. Next slide. FitFarm is a subscription-based fitness app which operates in 5 African countries. We have Pro and Standard plan as our available product, and our target audience is exercise enthusiasts and people that want to stay fit and healthy. Next slide. I've broken us through the campaign analytics, how our campaign has performed so far. So for click-through rates, we discovered that 20 people out of 1,000 impressions, 20 people only clicked the ads. So we identified some few problems, which is maybe the ads wasn't engaging enough. The target audience was broad or too narrow and wrong target audience. Next slide. For our installs, we discovered that out of 20 people that click on our ad, 3 people download and install the app, which also affect our cost per installs to increase whenever there is a drop in install rates. So we discovered some few problems. Maybe we had bad user review on the app store, or we have poor branding logo, and also the app is too large for target audience to download. Next slide. For our registration, which we discovered from our data that 5 out of 10 people who install the app go ahead to register, which is a very good one, which is average, but there's still possible growth. There's opportunity for growth in it. And also we discovered that okay, maybe the onboarding process was too long, whereby they had to fill unnecessary details, and also the app wasn't easy to navigate, and also on the app there was the user value proposition was not clear enough for user to pay to subscribe for each product. For our own install, we discovered that for every 10 people who installed the app, 11 people uninstalled back, which also literally means that the retention rate for the app is too poor. So we discovered maybe the app is buggy, or the app wasn't easy, user friendly, user interactive, and also maybe the pricing strategy is kicking people off, and also difficult implement integrations. Next slide. The overall campaign cost, that's for the FitFarm, we discovered throughout the campaign, the marketing campaign, we spent 251 million naira, and we were able to acquire 626,306 users, with our customer acquisition cost down to 402. Next slide. Next slide. So I'll be passing the presentation to Dr. to move on the product performance.
Yeah, all right. So we are moving on to the product performance to see how the country's channels and plans did in generating revenue. From the charts, we can see the user revenue by products. While the standard plan brought in more users and revenue in total, the pro plan had an higher average order value, which literally means that the pro plan was doing twice as well as the standard plan in terms of or average order value. This shows that the pro plan had more quality users and would be the better products to market. The best performing channels by user revenue, the direct channel brought in the most users, while organic search brought in the least. And for revenue, the direct channel also did the most, while organic search was at the bottom of the table. However, for the average order value, direct channel is still the best, but the lowest in this respect is the paid search. The customers, the subscribers generated from this channel, they had the lowest average order value. Only slight differences because the percentage aren't that different to infer a problem in channels performance. And then for the countries, we have the user and revenue by country and also the average order value by country. For users, Kenya brought in the most of total users, 20.4%, while Uganda brought in the least. For the revenue generation, South Africa did the most, with Kenya coming at the least. Even though Kenya had the most users, they had the least revenue generation. So their average order value was really low, while South Africa was at the highest with the average order value. Most quality users are from South Africa. So if you are proposing anything, we propose the plan implemented in South Africa, the pro plan, it should be improved upon. Why more quality leads? Since Kenya has the numbers, more quality leads should come from Kenya, should be targeted in Kenya. And then for months, in terms of revenue, October 2020 was the best performing month with over $74,000 generated. While users, we had over 425 active users in December 2020. Now for our user engagement to see how people stick with our app on a 30-day frame, the daily stickiness ratio is 7%, while the weekly is 33% average. So this shows that only 1 out of 10 users use our FitFrame app on a daily basis, and roughly 3 out of 10 users use the app at least once a week. This is really low, but we will improve on it. And then coming on to retention, after engaging them, we want to see how well they were kept. The retention was done in cohorts by cohorts analysis, and we set a benchmark for 60% as at the 6th month. However, with our analysis, we saw that even though the figures were good, average user retention at the 6th month was 51.6%, which shows that roughly 5 out of 10 users were subscribed to the 6th month, which could still be better. The best performing cohorts for user retentions were February and March 2019. And obviously, the marketing strategies used to acquire the subscribers from this cohort, then it should be replicated to ensure better user retention. And then for revenue retention, the benchmark still remains 60%. But here, our average as at the 6th month was 53.4%. That's only $53 generated for every $100 that came in at the first time subscription. The best performing cohort was January 2020, retaining 13 months. Now we'll go on to comparison by standard and pro plan. Why we are doing this is because the rest of the channels for product performance, the channels and the countries, they didn't really have much difference among them to know which one will double down on or which one to leave. But standard and pro plan, the ratio was 2:1, so it was almost double. Standard average plan user retention as the 6 months was 49.2%, while the Pro plan average was 57.3%. This shows that Pro plan users stay longer as customers, and then from that we can infer that Pro plan had more user engagement features, and customers got more value proposition. They saw a reason to stay on the app while using Pro plan more than standard plan. And for revenue, the standard plan was at the 6 months, we were retaining 51.6%, while for Pro plan, we are retaining 56.6%. This is compared to their first time subscription, to their first time year subscription payments revenue. This shows that Pro plan users did more long-term plan than standard plan users. So from this, we can infer that Pro plan had enticing long-term offers than the standard plan that made people pay more since they saw the value offered. And Pro plan also offers better features at a relatively cheaper price. It all comes down to the value offered by the Pro plan. So if you see people are willing to stay longer on the app with the Pro, and then moving on to our strategy. We've already discussed the problems, so let's see where we can drive growth. Abiola.
Okay, thanks, Dotun. For our strategy, we for acquisition part, we saw opportunity for goods whereby we can increase the click-through rate and also reduce our cost per install. But the strategy we'll be implementing is we have to carry out a new market research whereby identifying our competitors, looking at our strength and so carrying out competitive and market research. We have to create a test, A/B test plan to test for use target audience, creatives and copies as well. And also we discovered that direct channels perform better, so we want to implement influencer marketing as well and use more brand storytelling. For our installs, the strategy we'll be implementing is to the strategy we put forward is to implement App Store optimization, whereby optimizing for app description, App Store description, and the keywords as well. Set up our conversion goal to be first open so as to increase installs. Also fix customer complaints on the app and work with the product team to product team to work on the app design and the general aesthetic of the app. Next slide. For activation, that's registration, we come up with a strategy to for us to increase our number of registered users. So we have to come up with a strategy to reduce the onboarding requirements that is required for user to register. Also set up an onboarding push notification flow to nudge user who one way or the other didn't who installed the app and didn't go ahead to register. Also set up an email automation for the onboarding process as well. So our expected result for the activation is to go the registered users. I'll be passing the presentation to Dr. to walk us through the engagement retention part.
Yeah, thank you, Abiola. So for the engagement, all right, this is based on the app stickiness. We are trying to improve how people engage with our app. So for that, we propose creating communities to help users stay committed to the app. We introduce tricks like these tricks to see how well you can perform in a role. Add user challenges. We basically gamify the process, add in-app token or rewards usable for in-app purchases, so that when that will spur people to take more actions on the app, since they will be to improve the engagement. And for retention, we introduce loyalty referral programs, introduce discount offers for about to churn customers. We monitor the data, see what it's saying about to churn customers. We introduce discount offers for them to lure them back. We engage in email marketing to follow up our previous users, retarget churned users. and marketing strategies that were used to achieve our best performing cohorts, they should be replicated. And then moving on to the product performance part of the retention, it's just like I already said, we improve on the marketing strategies that have proven to be successful, at least to an extent. That's the strategy from South Africa for country, create enticing long-term offers and discounts for the pro plan, improve app and brand SEO for better direct customer acquisition, that's per channel, double down on referral programs to improve the channel acquisition. And then for the plan, since Pro Plan has more quality users and really better products to market, we double down on it. And then this is the go-to-market strategy to for re-entering our current market, for bringing in new features and to get more subscribers. We carry out more customer service to get more product market fit, so that we know how to tailor our apps features, implement a premium pricing strategy to attract new users to the premium plan, the pay plans, standard and pro, since we give them a trial to see how good it can be, people will be more committed to pay. And then we perform competitor analysis to find lagging features, on the side of our competitors where they are not really working on. If we work on it, it will be like our own unique value proposition. Audience that the competitor is not catering to, the target audience is broad, but if you can find out the special parts that people are not really focused on, we can, the market share there, we can pick it. And then competitive pricing, probably lower prices or at a better rate. It's all about the value you offer. If you can offer better value for lower rates, then I guess we'll definitely see an increase in subscriber and revenue generated. And that would be all. Thank you.
Oh, that was nice. That was great. Thank you so much, Dotun. Thank you so much, Abiola. So we'd have our facilitator, our panelist. Apologies for that. Our panelist. So who would like to go first? Sheon Adiola, Sheon Olayiwola, any?
Okay, let me just go first. Yeah. Well, that was a good presentation. Liked the fact that the data was interpreted quite correctly, right? Not just telling us what the data means, which is what most people do, right? They just tell you 35% did this. Kenya had more than Nigeria, Ghana had more than. But they also took that extra step to tell us what this implies, right? And then how they were able to map possible reasons for certain things, right? This is why clicks were low. This is why conversion was low here. This is why app installs was low, right? Which is directly linked to the solution of the problem, because if you're able to find the why, you can fix the why. So I like the fact that their interpretation of the brief was very methodical. So that's really good. Well done to the guys involved. In terms of the team that presented, yeah, it would have been nicer if you guys put some life into the presentation. At some point, I found myself kind of zoning out, right? Because it just seemed like you're just talking, if there was some interaction between you guys, so one person just talks, next person talks, then back to the first person. If you guys had some interaction, right? Maybe where somebody says something, another person responds, and then maybe that would have been a lot better. But in all, I thought it was a good presentation. Surely higher than average. So well done, guys.
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted. Thank you so much for that, Shion. I hope Team Gamma has taken that and they would work on it on their personally so that as they move forward. So Shion Olaiwola, any comments, any questions?
Hi, Adela.
Hi.
Well done, Singama. I think that was a very good presentation. I like the fact that in the presentation, right, I could see that you guys actually put work together, like to sort of uh, come up with something that would, not just visualize data as Film has pointed out, but also like provide quality insights. And for me, one of the best things I liked the most about it was the fact that you guys towards the end, you had like an actual strategy for like to take action based on the data and the and what you had sort of visualized, right? I like the fact that there was actual strategy and even the data analytics itself, it provided like actionable insight. And that's one thing that is super important. I like the fact that you guys talked about metrics that we didn't even discuss in the data classes, like stickiness and app optimization. The fact that you also thought to revamp the onboarding strategy and use like push notifications and all. Those are all great. And the visual presentation itself, right? The aesthetics of the presentation, I like the color schemes, and this thank you slide with the woman thing is also quite good. So like good one, guys. Like I am really impressed with the quality of work that I've seen here today, considering that when we're starting off this thing, it was all like, oh no, data is like this. But for me, like I am super impressed with the quality of the work, and I like the fact that you guys were able to pull this through as well. Nice to have. I would have liked to see some of the data that was visualized, right? I would have liked to see what the industry average was like. Sometimes we look at 50% and we're like 50% is bad. But for your business, right, you have to benchmark it against something. So 50% may not be necessarily bad for you. You might even be doing way better than the others. So it's always great to know what the industry average is when you're looking at some costs and things like that. And one more thing was that I would have also liked that you guys also come up with strategies that were a little bit more product-led, like consider like product-led gamification, right? But all in all, I think it was a very good presentation. I liked it, and I'm actually proud of the work that you guys have done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you for that. I hope Team Gamma has taken the feedback and they've taken the comments that has been given on their presentation and also on the case their project. So I don't know I don't know if you have any comments or any questions. Yes, please.
Okay, so I agree with a lot of things that Shemun Adeola said. About the team connecting and being able to deliver like a very connected I don't know, presentation. One thing that I would like to say though is good job with the slides. They looked really good. I'm someone who likes to see like color, clean, and very attractive slides. That kind of like keeps people in, even when maybe the presenter is not maybe catching or keeping people's attention. But there is one thing that I think it might not be a big deal, but there's something that you might want to take away, which is spotting trends, right? There was a lot of, this month had the highest engagement rate, conversion rate. But I think one way that you can take your data analysis or skills further is to watch for trends, right? So I'm looking at the best performing months, and a very good call out for that Team Gamma would have been that they noticed there was an increase in the performance in the last quarter of the year. Like there's a trend there. in the monthly revenue performance. So as the performance was, user performance was increasing, revenue was increasing. So that's something that you can use to make a case to your management team to increase your ad spend in a particular period to shoot up your revenue. So aside just calling out the exact numbers that you see, try and watch for trends in the data that you can use to make business cases. That's all I have.
All right, thank you so much, Eniye. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the comments. And I believe that Team Gamma, everyone on the team has taken all of this and they are going to make improvements and make do of the comments and the feedback in their day-to-day activity, and moving forward from the session, they would make use of this and they would improve on the areas that have been pointed out to them. So thank you so much, Team Gamma. Thank you, Abiola. Thank you, Oluwadotun, thank you and well done to Team Gamma.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yes. So we'll move on to the next team to present. As I did earlier, we are going to be using same wheel of names to select who is going to be presenting next. So yes, I'm going to be sharing my screen now. So let me know when we can see my screen. Just a minute. Can we see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. So spin. Yeah. So we have Team Beta. Hi, Team Beta. Hi, Toyosi. Hi, Jubril.
Hi, Adiola.
Yeah. Are you excited?
Am I excited? Not really, but I'm all right.
All right. So we would have Team Gamma and Team Beta, Toyosi and Jubril are going to be presenting for Team Beta. They're going to introduce their teammates, and you have 15 minutes for your presentation, and yes, and you can take it away, please.
Okay. So first, I wanted to say that Jubil and I are going to both have to share at different times when we're going to present. So I'd like for you to give both of us access to share our screens.
You have that already.
Oh, okay. Thank you. One second, I'm trying to share my screen.
Okay, all right. So while we wait for Team Beta, while we wait for Toyosi, I would like to also commend all the efforts of every team. I've mentioned, as I mentioned earlier, when we started the session, I know that everyone pulled their weight. A lot of us have a lot of activities that we've been involved in over these past weekends. We've had sessions for 6 weeks, and this is the 6th weekend, and it's been a lot. We've had a lot of insightful sessions, and we've had a lot of wonderful and intelligent facilitators come to take the sessions, and it's been a great one. It's been a wonderful one for everyone in the boot camp. Hi, Toyosi. Are you still having issues?
Yes, but Jubilee is going to share.
Okay, all right. Because 15 minutes.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Jubril. Good morning.
So much fun. Hold on.
Okay, hi, Jubril. So I don't know if you guys will need me to help. I can help if it is not easy sharing from your end.
Okay, let me try and.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can see your screen now. Yes.
Okay. Start from the beginning. Okay. Chelsea, can you see it?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Jubril. Jubril, this is the PDF version, but I think it's fine.
Okay.
I can't like get the presentation, like the slides right now. So good morning, everybody. My name is Chelsea. Jubril and I will be like taking you through the whole of our case study. Our team comprised of 6 people. Jubril, myself, Busayo, Modupe Longe, Ochike, and Petra. Everybody really tried to like put in their best effort to get this done. So I'm just going to like go straight into it. I'm going to present for a while and then Jubril will take it up from somewhere. So across several countries in Africa, fit farming is the quickest way to a healthy body, mind, and overall wellness. It's supposed to be a millennial-friendly and culture-fit platform built to deliver seamless fitness services with customized diet plans, goals and trackers, virtual coaches, and social sharing.
Okay. Uh,
All right. So the big idea was to create a brand that would shape and redefine the African Gen Z and millennial fitness culture. And you'd see from our user personas that we try to include this like in every aspect of the presentation. FitFam would be the preferred fitness app for every young African interested in starting their fitness journey and being consistent like throughout their journey. Next slide, please. So we identified some challenges that people face and a lack of a fitness app that is not solely weight loss focused, but the general physical and, but also like about the physical and mental well-being. No access to human personal trainers. So if you like look through most fitness apps, they're usually like very robotic and we don't want that happening with FitFarm. We want it to be as human friendly as possible. And so this means access to even personal trainers that you can talk to. This means that we're going to like not have robots like attend to you or bots just like direct you. We need you to like feel some sort of connection to whoever it is that is going to be on your fitness journey with you. On FitFarm, you have access to an array of pre-recorded workout sessions and a live session, whichever rocks your boat, to be very honest. You can pick any one that you want. You can also decide who your trainer should be, a real person, of course. You have the chance to select the things that you want to see in your trainer. For a whole lot of people that are confused, we can manually match them to trainers. The profiles and areas of expertise of our trainers and coaches would be displayed. So you can see if whatever it is about their personality just like sort of resonates with you. So yeah, that's basically it about our proposition. So our target audience includes young men and women living across different cities in Africa: Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, and South Africa. Gen Zs and millennials aged between 20 to 40 years, They could be single, dating, or married, professionals, entrepreneurs, freelancers. Their monthly income is estimated between 100,000 naira and 1 million naira. So an average person or somebody earning at least 100 naira should be able to afford our products or use our products. And they have to be internet savvy because we cannot be, we can't be like providing an app focused solution to people that do not understand how to use tech products, basically. So we did like a detailed buyer persona representing two of our buyer personas. The first person is Abiodun Bolaji. He's a Nigerian. Second person is Ajwa Kofi. She's a Ghanaian, but then she also like has a South African boyfriend. Abiodun is a tech bro. He works at a music tech company. He works remotely too. He loves to go out with his friends sometimes, but he's mostly indoors because of his work. He loves Arsenal a lot because he watches football, and a lot of his goals. I'm sorry if this is like a bit tiny for you to read. We couldn't like fit in a more bold font, but yes, his motivation is to be a tech bro with a banging body like The Rock. That's where he draws most of his motivation from. He looks forward to having a good time with his friends on Fridays. He wants to take care of his mother forever, so he needs to keep his health in check. He wants to look at himself 20 years later and give fit sugar daddy energy, just like RMD. We all know RMD, and everybody wants to be like RMD, but nobody really wants to like put in the work. Content medium to reach Abiodun would be through Twitter, Instagram, because he likes to rant on Twitter a lot and he's sort of like entertaining to be on Twitter. So he loves Twitter. For Instagram, he's a mysterious person. You know, all those type of people that would post on their stories, but they would not post on their feed. Yeah, that's Abiodun. He knows how to use technology. He's a web developer and he earns 300,000 naira. For Ajwa is a Ghanaian. She's a lifestyle content creator and she's dating. Abiodun, by the way, is single. A quote that appeals to Ajwa would be, I deserve luxury, I deserve calm, peace, wealth, and serenity. So you see that Ajwa loves things like yoga, she loves wellness, she appreciates fitness because it helps her just stay in tune and connected with her mind. It helps preserve her energy. Some of her frustrations come from inflation. Affect her because she's a lifestyle babe and she has to create content, buy equipment, and visit happening places in Ghana. Some of her goals and motivations are to live the baby girl lifestyle, become financially independent, experience different cultures, and just like build a great life around wellness. Yes, we can reach Ajwa through Instagram, YouTube, because she's a lifestyle person. So she's always on Instagram. She likes to engage her audience. She's always sharing fashion tips. She's always taking us like through her life's journey and doing all of that on YouTube too. Next slide, please. And we're able to analyze a few of our competitors. Noom, MyFitnessPal, and Runtastic, acquired by Nike. We evaluated their market share, some of the marketing channels and strategies that they use in their marketing, and their competitive advantage. We can see that Noom has, sorry, Jibril. I see that Noom is more focused on behavioral change of their customers, shorter timelines for their customers to achieve their fitness goals. I mean, a lot of people want to have like banging bodies in 1 month. So everybody's always looking like a quick way to just like reach their goals. So they're more focused on that. For MyFitnessPal, they eliminate the need for advertising and focus on organic engagement and growth instead. Runtastic loves to like run tracker competitive intelligence. Yeah, next slide. Here is a presentation of our app performance dashboard. We had a lot more, but I'm not sure if everything is here though. But yes, we're able to analyze our install rate. Okay, yes, it's there. Our uninstall rate, install rate and registration rate, churn rate, and lots of other things. Next slide, please, Jabril. Revenue per channel, revenue per country, sum of revenue versus channels, everything is in here. So you can like see how the revenue, the month-on-month revenue like does in the graphs, how many people use the pro plan, where it's like more high. Yeah. Some of the problems that we identified are here. First is that there's a significant difference between the install and registration rate. So a whole lot of people were installing the app, but very few of them were registering. And we could like sort of see that maybe there was a problem with the onboarding process. And all of this will be discussed in the solutions phase. But some people now, they would install an app and the KYC process might be too long for them and they may drop off, or they might have like issues verifying their OTP. So they may drop off. They may just like have certain issues with the onboarding. And if you do not also follow up with them, you would not understand the problems that you're facing. Another problem identified was the revenue and subscription for the period. FitFarm had the lowest revenue in June, which could be due to several reasons. Moving further to the order, we identified that the lowest order that FitFarm had for the year was from April. June had the lowest average order value. Furthermore, of all the channels FitFarm used in acquiring customers, the channel that generated the least revenue was organic search. It means that revenue generated from people that searched and looked for the FitFarm app was significantly low. The revenue per plan revealed that more of the FitFarm customers subscribed to the standard plan as opposed to the pro plan. Hence, more revenue was generated from the standard plan. Overall, the country that generated the lowest revenue for FitFarm was Kenya. Next slide. Our areas of focus is to identify our ideal persona, which we already did, understand how best to reach them, maximize the results of your marketing experience, design and implement an intentional strategy to enable users to discover the app, deliver a memorable brand experience to app users, a communications blueprint to ensure that we deliver a consistent brand experience across all touch points, including social media, our brand voice and tone. So to reach our user personas, we have to use tones that like aligns with the things that they love. I don't think that any of them, Ajwa and the other guy, would love to be communicated to in very formal tones, especially because they're young people. Identify positioning opportunities available to FitFarm and help design a positioning strategy that will win the hearts of Gen Z and millennials and dominate the market. So Jabril will take it from here. Thank you.
Hi, hello. So, just to continue from where she left off, can you hear me?
Yes, Jibril. And if you don't mind, you can put on your video.
Okay, hold on. Okay, can you see me now?
Yes.
Okay. So proposed growth strategies. We have 5 problems. We have like 6 problems that we need to address. So the proposed growth strategies are for the low registration rates. The first thing we need to do is audit the onboarding process to ensure that there are no glitches and doesn't frustrate users. We should also eliminate roadblocks in the onboarding process. We should remove as many steps as possible. Let's say if there were like 5 or 6 steps before, we should try to move it to 3. So they would understand that, okay, it's an easy onboarding process and more people would be retained. and more people would, it will actually also improve customer stickiness. So ensure customer service or support for clients are efficient and available 24/7. Yes, offer discounts, incentives, freebies, which can be claimed upon registration. Ensure users have access to test the app without having to enter the payment details. So that's something that a lot of the fitness apps might be getting wrong. The whole, oh, you have to enter your payment details first to get what they're offering. But we are offering like a freemium kind of service that, okay, it's going to be like, you are going to get some opportunities, you're going to get some content out of us. But if you want to get better opportunities and better plans and stuff, you have to subscribe. That's what we're proposing. So we're also providing several payment options to fit users of all categories. We're offering referral bonuses to users. We are going to consult and collaborate with product owners and the development team to find out if there's a problem with the product. Because the thing is that no matter how good the marketing strategy is, if the product is bad, it would not sell. Nothing would sell. So we have to make sure that the product is good, marketing is good, and we're good to go. So to increase the pro plan revenue, we should offer free trials for existing users upon hitting a specific milestone. Introduce a pay-as-you-go option to drive registration and app utilization. Because looking at the markets in Nigeria now, Nigeria, Uganda, Kenya, South Africa, our purchasing power is a bit lower compared to countries like the Americas or Europe or which other place, Asia. So a lot of Nigerians would embrace the whole pay-as-you-go option. Subscription flexibility, like ability to freeze plans when users are away or need to take a break. So we all know the whole DSTV thing now, the whole, oh, yeah, you traveled, but then your subscription is still on. So if you can pause it instead, that would really help to like convince more people to stay on the app. So we're going to offer users the opportunity to upgrade their membership as they see fit, so they can be flexible. It can increase the app, the flexibility. Introduce a diet plan as part of the package. Yeah, so all that is going to increase our pro plan revenue. Because from the statistics, we realized that the pro plan the average order value is more, but a lot more people are subscribing to the standard plan as opposed to the pro plan. To improve the organic search, we need to do content marketing. We need to do infographics. We need to do articles, blogs, user reviews, case studies, a lot of them like that. To build content around fitness, to enhance organic search and establish thought leadership. We also need to do the SEO optimization for everything on everything on the search engine. That would be the website itself, the blogs, and then, yeah. For low revenue, we are offering referral bonuses, workout challenges on the app or social media, and free trials. We're also offering email marketing, targeting existing customers in the months when revenue declines. I think remembering the statistics, I think it's June. June had one of the lowest registration and retention rates. So we have to make sure during those months we are targeting customers that can boost that. We're awarding badges to registered users upon completion of the milestone. So as soon as it's 6 months, yeah. Content marketing, improving general awareness of the app. For the low revenue in Kenya, we should offer the longer term plans, off-peak season plans, and corporate plans to attract more Kenyans to subscribe. We can also include alternate workout plans like yoga, Pilates, running, etc. And then we can also, it's not in the slide, but I think we can also include a loyalty program where they will get incentives, that they will get more things from bringing their friends. So if they bring more people, if we bring more Kenyans, that would be really great for us. So what we use to measure our performance in the future, there are different KPIs. We can use retention rates, we can use cost per acquisition, customer lifetime value, churn rates, bounce rates, return rates, average order value, revenue per channel, country, and plan. These metrics need to be checked to ensure that they meet the minimum in the industry standards in the various locations. And then looking at the whole competitor analysis, we have to make sure that all these rates and all these values are higher than our competitors. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to say about that. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Tim Bitter. Thank you, Jubril. Thank you, Toyosi. That was a great one. Thank you so much. Aishiel, INEA, Aishiel. Any questions, comments, feedback?
Okay. So I think I'll just go first. So I was very excited to see, starting out with trying to build like a story at the start of the presentation and get us to understand the target audience a lot better. That was a good one. There's a but there, in the sense that I feel like we could have done the consumer understanding part of this in like a slide or two. We spent quite a lot of time looking at, looking at the consumer, who they are, the audience, this, that, and didn't spend as much time looking at the data, right? Then when it got to the data part, it was quickly run over, and then we got into the part where we're talking about insights gotten from the data, when maybe the audience hasn't fully absorbed or digested the information on the slides, right? So maybe you could have tried to say, okay, 2 minutes for understanding the consumer, this number of minutes for this, that, so that you can effectively cover all the parts that you were supposed to cover. But outside of that, it was a good one. I liked hearing about the consumer. Thank you. Good job, guys.
Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you for that. Aishiel Adiola, Aishiel Olayola. Any comments, questions?
So I think I would really want to, because I think this is a very teachable moment for the guys, right? First of all, the time management was quite poor, and then I didn't see that synchronization between the presenters, right? So I could tell that they were both brilliant individuals, right? And it looked like that presentation was done in part by different people. So that cohesion was in there. But beyond that, it's having psychographics as the basis of the strategy was interesting. Like I had a lot of expectations from that point, right? But then the data analysis part was very weak, very watery, right? So it looked like the style followed here was something an agency would design for a client, right? So maybe that would be very different from the approach the first team took. That seemed like what an internal team would design for management. But still, next time, you don't need such an elaborate target audience definition. It was so elaborate that we couldn't even read what was inside, right? So keep it short and punchy next time. Simplifying the data is very good, especially when you're speaking to people who are not really subject matter professionals. But then when you're done dumbing it down, make sure that the bullet points, the takeout is very strong, because it wasn't strong in this case, right? Storytelling was good, but I don't know the sweet spot of your story. So yeah, it just felt very traditional, and I think this should be improved on, right? Especially when you're analyzing, when you have a data-led brief, because this brief was data-led. Yeah. So one more thing, it was interesting that the foundation of this strategy was understanding the human behavior, and a couple of strategies came out from there. and also some tweaks into product design. So that was good. So yeah, but well done, guys. It's a very nice attempt.
Thank you so much, Adelia. Aisha.
Hi, Adiola. Well done, guys. This was a good presentation, and I agree with what the other panelists have said, right? And for me, what's important is like I went back to just look at the case study that was shared, right? And it states that you have been told by the CMO that campaigns have not been effective as expected, right? As Sean said, it's great to have like great personas and we focus on their lifestyles and all of that. Now, it's a nice to have, right? What's more important is answering the business question. And if we're unable to clearly like answer the business question, it's may not necessarily mean that we have not done what we're supposed to do, but it's just important that we keep sight on what the objective is of this data and this story that we're trying to tell. But like all in all, I think it was a great presentation. I like the storytelling. I would have liked more insights from the data. The strategy was good, and some of the suggestions too were also quite great. So yeah, great one, guys. Thanks.
All right, thank you so much, our panelists. That was a great one, and I believe Team Beta has taken that as a team and as individuals, so that they're able to apply all of this comment and all of this feedback into their daily activity as product marketers. Thank you so much. So we are going to move to the next team to present, and I will be sharing my screen once again. Yeah, and before we move to the next screen, I'm just like, we can just have about like some seconds or some minutes of break. How's it been so far? I'm just going to call on hi Omolola, how are you doing?
I knew you were going to call me. I'm fine.
Okay, so how's the session been? How's it going?
Okay, it's insightful and I'm learning a lot. Yeah.
Okay, great. That's a great one there. Okay, I think I'm just going to take another person. Hi, Emmanuel.
Hello, Adia.
Hi.
So,
Yes. How's it been? How's it been for you so far?
really insightful. I mean, so far my mind has been blown, right, by the other two teams. I think they did really great work. Yeah.
All right. I'm glad that it's been insightful and we're learning as individuals. We're also learning as team, and we can go back to the drawing board to see what is wrong and take all of these comments and feedback to make use of and to make do of. All right, so I'll be sharing my screen to select the next team to present. Ta-da. Okay. We can see my screen now, right? Okay, so I'm just going to. Yes. Okay, all right, thank you. Yay. Hi, Team Zita. Hi, Jackson. Hi, Damola. How do you feel?
Hi, Adela.
Yeah, hi, Damola. How are you? How are you feeling now?
I feel great. Ready to go.
Yeah. So yes, that's the spirit. You got this.
Okay. So,
yeah.
Hi, Adiola. You can.
Hi, Jackson. Yes, you can share your screen. Cool. How do you also feel? You feel great, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit tense, but I'm sure I will do well.
Yes, you
But you
will.
will do well, Jackson. Don't worry.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see your screen. I would believe that every other person can see your screen.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Jackson. So I have a bit of cold. So if in case I cough once in a while, just bear with me. So first of all, I like to appreciate the teams that have gone before us. I think you did a good job. You really, I'm inspired, you've done a wonderful job. So just to quickly go into a presentation. Yeah, so I'll like to just also thank my team, the effort that you put in spite of your tight schedule. Yeah, we managed to put or come up with something. So really appreciate your effort with the leadership of Damola. So this presentation will be done in two sections. One is I'll just go through the dashboards. Then Damola will go into the meat of the presentation. So as you can see, FitFarm is an application that will make the guys look like that guy on the photo. The ladies will just be going gaga. So basically that is what FitFarm is. And for the ladies, it will trim your body, it will make you be more confident. So basically just a bit of a background on the FitFarm. So it's an app that operates within Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Uganda, South Africa. So it has enjoyed a bit of success in terms of adoption, but we'll want to just increase its growth. So we've done a bit of analysis on through the data that we have to see where we can improve and where the strategies that we can implement to make it better. So our presentation is structured into three. So identifying the problems and shortcomings, providing a clear path to strategy, and then setting the benchmarks for future performances. So just quickly on the dashboard, so you can see first dashboard is install rate versus uninstall rate. From that, you can be able to see that there is the install rate is much greater than uninstall rate, which is a positive thing. The other dashboard shows us install rate versus the registration rate. So you can also see that the install rate is greater than the registration rate, which is a negative. So this chart just gives us an overview on average cost per registration versus clicks. So it keeps on varying over time. So our next dashboard is just gives us an overview of installs versus uninstalls. Huh? So there is still a fluctuation, but what you can see is the install rate picked up in February 2022 with about 9,000 installs, while the installs also reached its peak in October with about 8,000 plus uninstalls. Huh? So this chart just gives us just an overview of installs and uninstalls. So in terms of product performance in relation to revenue, so we found out that the standard plan, of course, had a higher number of subscribers compared to the pro plan. So standard plan had about 70%, 69%, while the pro plan had 31%. So in terms of revenue, also it was a direct correlation. Standard plan had the higher revenue compared to pro plan. So in terms of channels and its contribution to revenue, so we from from the graph of the bar chart, you can see that direct channels contributed to the highest revenues, while organic search contributed to the least revenue, which you can still see. Sorry, you can see from the pie chart, just confirming the same how they are distributed. So this will give us a point on which channels to invest in and which channels to reduce expenditure. So impressions and clicks, yeah. So from the chart, you can see that just we had a huge number of impressions, but on the flip side, the number of clicks were too small. So that is a negative. That is something that we need to look at as a business. You know, we need to dig in and see what is really going on there. In terms of installs and clicks, so there is a huge gap in conversion. So that means there is a huge number of clicks, but installs really remain quite low. So that is also a negative. We need to check into that. So installs and registration, the same thing. So installs pass to the number of registration. That is something that we need to look at. We need more people to register. So cohorts, this chart shows us, you know, how users' engagement is. As you can see, from the green to red, so it goes from high user engagement to low user engagement of extreme, which is red. Same thing with the chart, just showing how user engagement was panned out as the year went through, or the number of days. This is a chart on retention. The same thing. So from the high green of high retention going to extreme red of low retention. So that means retention fluctuates over time. That is 2019. This is 2020, the same thing. Retention that is really reducing over time. So that is a red flag that we need to dig into and see what can we do to reverse this kind of situation. Revenue, I think from the chart you can see now how revenue is fluctuating over time. From the green, that means we had high revenues, to the reds, the least revenue. So we can be able to monitor when are we having the least revenue, when at what point of the month do we need to do something? Do we need to, you know, market to have high revenues? Yeah, so same thing as revenue cohorts. It will just show us the cohorts that are giving us more revenue compared to the other cohorts. Yeah, so that is how some of the dashboards that we managed to come up with. So I'll want to invite my colleague, Damola. So she'll just get into the meat of things, tell us about what you've seen, come up with the strategies, and probably advice on the metrics that we're going to track over time. So Damola, the floor is yours. I'll be able to assist you with the presentation, so just do your thing.
Thank you, Jackson. Hi, everyone. I'm sure you've been enjoying our presentation so far. So I'm just going to briefly speak on problems, strategies, and benchmarks problems we identified, strategies that we were able to come up with as a result of all the data that we analyzed, and the benchmarks that we set for growth in the future. So we're able to categorize our problems into 4 main sets. The first problem we noticed was that Fitch Farm has in 2019 and 2020, Fitch Farm had low install to registration rate, like we saw from the dashboard. The second problem was that we had a relatively high churn rate. The third problem was that we had low conversions from organic channels. And the fourth problem was that we had an engagement problem. So I'm just going to take these problems one by one and identify the strategies that we came up with. So for low install to registration rate, like we saw, users are actually downloading the app, which means that our advertisements are bringing people to, or our ads are bringing people to the app. Our ads are making people download the app, so our ads are making them curious. But they are not but when they get to the app, there's just something that is not making them register. So why is that? Could it be that our interface is not as intuitive? Could it be that our onboarding process is long and tedious? Could it be that our interface is not friendly, or it doesn't promise it doesn't deliver on the promise that we gave in the ad copy? So the first strategy we said was reduce the number of steps required to create an account. So we need to look at our onboarding process. Is it a 10-step process? If it is, how about we cut it by half and make it 5? How about make it even 3? How about to make it as easy as possible for users to download the app, come in, register, and effectively use the app? The second strategy was incentivize users to register by offering small rewards such as discounts on their first plans. And this is a very good strategy, but a corresponding problem would be, how do you get these users to actually register when they have your app, but you don't have any of their details because they haven't registered? So what we said was, how about we send them push notifications via the app to their phones, just to say, oh, we noticed that you have downloaded this app, but you haven't registered. Is there a problem? Would you like to continue? Or notice that you started at some point and you stopped? Was it that the onboarding process was too long? Not in those exact words, but just painting that picture. And some people might just have a difficulty, right? They might not have understood a particular step, and we're there to guide them, right? So, and then we can just push out a push notification saying, oh, did you know that you have a 10% off your first plan when you register as a new user? I mean, who doesn't like freebies, right? The third strategy was optimize the landing page. The landing page is another touch point to drive urgency. This is really important because if the users are not on your app, right, at least they would be on your website, right? So how about you make the landing page of your website as optimized as possible to drive users to the app to register? The fourth point is include a preview of the app's UI on the sign-up page. Another way to just say, oh, our app is great. I mean, we've spent XYZ amount of money. This is just in-house. We spent XYZ amount of money on hiring the best designer. Come and see it, right? Give you an interface of how our app looks on the website. Like I said, using push notifications with compelling registration prompts. Then the final strategy would be to retarget users acquired through advertising. We said this because, like we said, if we say that we have low installs to registration rates, meaning that we have a lot of installs, right, but we don't have their data. So what do we do? How can we fix this? We can retarget. What this means was that either our ad didn't reach its target audience, because I mean, who our target audiences are would be interested in this product, right? So how about we go back to the drawing board and retarget our buyer personas, retarget our audience, and then we can get the right people that would install and would register on the app. Then let's move on to our second problem, which is high churn rate, right? On an average, we recorded relatively high churn rates, which is concerning, as it typically costs more to acquire new users than to retain them. So what this means is that we have a lot of people coming in, but people are also dropping out, right? We have a lot of users downloading the app, but either we're not retaining our old users or our new users don't see value in what we're offering. And we have a really good product. I mean, there's a reason why we're in 5 countries, right? So we identified the following strategies that could be helpful in improving our retention rates. First thing is optimize the onboarding experience and reduce time to value. We need to reduce the time it takes for users to reach their aha moments. We need to reduce the time it takes for users to move from a place of confusion to move from the place where they say, oh, I've been looking for this app since I gained 10 kg or since I've been trying to even gain weight, right? So how about we optimize the onboarding experience and reduce time to value? I think I touched on that in the earlier point. Another strategy would be to introduce incentives designed to retain existing users, such as discounts. One thing that I've noticed is we can focus so much on acquiring new users. We can focus so much on just bringing new people that we forget the people that we have spent money to acquire over the years, right? And our existing users don't feel as included, in quotes, as they should be. So how about we give discounts? Oh, we noticed this is your first anniversary using FitFarm. For that, we're giving you 10% off your next plan. This is your second year using FitFarm. We notice that you have been using our standard plan. Okay, we notice you've been using our standard plan. How about you try our paid plan for the next 1 month? That is a way I think that will be a way to keep existing users, sorry. We also need to improve our customer engagement with content marketing. Like I said, we need to go back to our content marketing dashboard and re-strategize. It means that people are not, there is a problem, right? Another strategy would be to create an online fitness community that connects users and builds more affinity with the brand. People like to feel like they belong to a community, especially when it comes to fitness. Working out is boring when you're working out by yourself. Working out is boring when you can't share your progress with your friends. Working out is boring when you can't show off the fact that you lost 1,000 calories yesterday or you ran 2 kilometers last week. How about we capitalize on community, and users will feel a lot more included. They would want to stay on the app. Another point is we can give out free resources such as meal plans based on app use. I think that is self-explanatory. We can also use gamifications. We can use streaks. We can say, oh, you've been on don't lose your streak, right? You've been working out for, yeah. So please, the next point. Next slide. So a strategy for low conversions from organic channels will be to invest more in driving brand awareness, using referrals and incentive programs, reviewing and optimizing our content marketing efforts to target the right audience, and considering the possibility of exploring product-led marketing. I think I've touched on these earlier on. Then the last problem, next slide, please. The last problem would be targeting our engagement problem. First strategy would be to introduce streaks to encourage consistent usage, optimize the app to deliver better user experience, create more educative content to help users discover all the ways that they can draw value from FitFarm, find out if their tight schedules play a major role in limiting user engagement. If yes, introduce in-app schedulers plus reminders via push notifications, and finally, introduce rewards for consistent users, such as Customer of the Month recognition, with their permission, of course. So let me just quickly touch on our goals. Please, can you go back to the first? Yes, so our goals for the next 1 year, when we when we apply these strategies, we tend to record a 25% month-over-month increase in installed to registration rate over the next year. The second goal would be to reduce quarter-on-quarter churn rate by 10%. The third goal would be to increase revenue from organic search channels by 30% in the next 6 months. Finally, our fourth goal will be to improve daily user engagement rate by 20% over the next 6 months. Thank you very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much, Tim Zita. That was packed. That was very insightful. So I'll just like our panelists to give their comments and if they have any questions to ask this team.
I'll go first this time around. Well done to the team. I think that this was a great presentation. I particularly like the logo, right? And the color schemes. I think it's great. First things first, I think that I could see that you guys put in a lot of work and effort in this coming together as a team, right? And that's great. I like the fact that your presentation, it was easy to follow, even though it was packed. The storytelling was quite compelling, right? At some point I became convinced that okay, yes, I bought into the story. I like the fact that you guys particularly spoke a lot about like onboarding optimization, reducing the time to value, let them reach a high moment faster, and also like community building, which is especially a great initiative for like lifestyle products, right? And referrals to drive organic. One thing I would have loved to see was splitting the goals from the problems, right? Because as I've now come to see it, it's more like you listed out the problems and you listed out the strategies that you would take to achieve a particular goal. That flow would have been, for me, easier to follow if it was more, would I say, segmented differently. Like, so I just know that, okay, this is a problem, this is a strategy, and then this is what we're trying to achieve. But like, all in all, I think it was a very good presentation, and well done to the guys.
Thank you so much, Shil. Hi, Shil Adela.
Okay. Yeah. Very simple style. Data appreciation was quite easy too, and I enjoyed listening to that, right? Even though it didn't pack a lot of energy, right? It was very calm, there was a clear path to the presentation, from the data to the statement of problem to the strategy. I thought that was very linear and easy to understand. And then there was a very strong synergy between the presenters. So the team collaboration was really strong, and I thought that was very good. It was hard to tell who designed what or who contributed to what on these slides. So I thought that was good. And then I'm trying not to repeat Sean, right? So I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shil.
Hi.
Any.
Hi. Good job, guys. That was solid. I like the icebreaker. Talking about the guy in front. That's a very good way to ease into presentation. I would say that the goals, I like that the goals had like measurement or like metrics in them. So you were clearly saying that you wanted to increase this by 50% or by 20%. And that was a good one. That's something to always take with you as you go along, as opposed to just saying increase brand awareness. You're saying something like increase website traffic by 20%. So good one, guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, our panelists. Thank you for that, for Team Zeta. Thank you, Damola. Thank you, Jackson. I believe that you've taken the comments and the feedback, and you're going to make proper use of it, moving on as product marketers. Thank you. That was a great presentation. So I hope this has not been overwhelming and we are all enjoying ourselves and we are getting like a lot of insights from this session. Oluwabusayo, how's the session been for you? Hi, can you hear me? Okay, all right. So, hi, Kolade. Hi, how are you doing today? And how's the session been for you?
It's been all right. It's been informative. I've been learning one or two from the other groups.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again and show us the next team that will be presenting. Okay. Yeah. Hi, Team Tita. How do you guys feel? Eme, Felix, Pinyi, how do you guys feel?
Yeah, hi, Adiola. Good morning, everyone. We're excited to present our work. We're putting a lot of effort, so I feel excited to be part of this.
Okay, so I'll be having Eme, I'll be having Felix, and I'll be having Fee for Team Tita. So you guys can take it away. All right, so yeah, you have access to share your screen. Yes, I am.
Hi. So Felix is going to share his screen.
Okay, all right, no problem. That works. Hi, Felix, you have the access to share your screen now. So you can start already.
All right. But it's still saying I don't have the access to.
Okay, so Felix, I see that you joined on 2 devices. Okay, I'm just going to give access to the second one. All right. And also, like, there is a lot of noise in your background and I can't hear you properly. I'm not sure. I think that is the same for everyone.
Can you hear me properly now?
Yes, but there are still sounds in your, like there's still noise in your background.
Okay. I'll work on that now.
Okay, so please share your screen. I don't know if it is Emma that is going first so that we can start.
Yeah, Emma is going first.
Okay.
Emma, you can see my screen here.
No.
No.
So if you're having trouble sharing your screen, I think it's something that I can help with from my end, or Kolade can, or Fee can help with that, or any other team member.
Okay, maybe because I'm sharing my screen now. Can you see?
So we can't see your screen. Should I share from my end? Or
Yes,
Phil
please.
is going to help with that.
I think you can just share.
Okay, so I'll just share my screen for just a minute. Okay. Trying to get it on. Okay. Still trying to get this up. Apologies for that, guys. And how is the session going for us? So I'm not sure this is what I am to share. So I would prefer you guys share from your end because I can't seem to view it from my end properly. Can you hear me?
I can share my screen.
So while we wait for Team Theta, I don't know if anyone has any question for the okay, if anyone from the previous team that have presented have any questions for the panelists or they need some other clarifications on their presentation. So if you have that, you can ask your questions now while we wait for Team Theta to start their presentation. So any questions from anybody for the panelists? If there is a comment that you need a feedback on what has been spoken about and what you have presented. Okay, all right. So I think while Team Theta is trying to sort themselves out, if there are no questions, I'll just go. Team Sigma can just go up to make their presentation. Hi, Osas. Are you ready? Good morning. Hi, can you hear me? Yes.
I think, no, this is Eme. I want to try to share my screen now.
Okay, please go ahead to do that. You have the access to share your screen.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm joined on 2 devices.
Okay, all right, let me fix that. Apologies for the delay. So sorry. IMA, you can share your screen now.
Okay. 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 Can everyone see my screen? You can? Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, apologies to everyone for the technical difficulties. So Hi, my name is Eme, and I'll be presenting with Felix. This is the FitFarm marketing campaign analysis for pizza. Okay, so FitFarm, wellness in your pocket. So FitFarm is a fitness and wellness product designed to help you stay fit physically and mentally. It's majorly targeted to people who would love to have physical personal trainers, but they can't afford it. So the features include like a digital personal trainer that helps you achieve a goal you've previously inputted. So basically, the product is optimized in a way that your phone, the mobile app can you can put your body goals into it, body goals that you want to achieve, and then it will be able to calculate, okay, this is the exercise that you need to do, and all of that. So it's kind of like a digital personal trainer. And it has a fitness tracker that also estimates exercises, which I've like said before, even down to the reps, the time period that you need to cover to be able to reach your body goal. Other features include an in-app store to shop for discounted supplements, activewear, gym wear, and gym accessories. Then a personalized supplement taking reminder, an automated feature to order supplements, and a wellness-centered community. Another feature of the FitFarm product is an accountability program. Okay, so FitFarm currently has two products which generate revenue through a monthly subscription model. We have the standard plan and the pro plan. So both plans have a digital personalized trainers, communities for well-being for both mental health and physical fitness. However, the pro plan has premium features which include discounts on gym and accessories, an accountability program, and fitness communities that are using the app in your locality. So FitFarm, from the total revenue generated from both products, that is the standard plan and the pro plan, we discovered that the standard plan on average generated more revenue than the pro plan by at least 5%. Our unique value proposition is discounted fitness features, a digital personal trainer, and optimized fitness tracker. Existing alternatives to FitFarm products include YouTube and your local gym. YouTube, because I mean, you could always get on YouTube and like easily just for free see videos that you want concerning like certain workouts and all of that. So it's an existing alternative to the app. A direct competition is iFitness in Nigeria and the Apple Health app. So FitFarm has been in operations for 3 years. That is from 2019 to 2022 across 5 countries: Nigeria, Ghana, Uganda, Kenya, and South Africa. And in that span of time, it has an average of 5,000 users. So the next thing is, over the past 3 years, the total cost of our marketing campaigns has come up to 251 million naira, with a customer acquisition cost of 402 naira. That is, FitFarm spends 402 naira on an average to acquire 1 customer. So the countries to bring in the highest revenue are Nigeria and South Africa, with Uganda, Kenya, and Ghana bringing in the least. So from here, Felix is just going to take over to give us more insights into the data.
Thank you, Amy, for that. Once again, my apologies to everyone for the technical issues. It was due to getting permission from my laptop to share my screen. So as Amy said, South Africa was the country performing the best from the revenues for the country, and the reason for this could be because South Africa, from a research we did, shows that they are very they are a tech savvy nation, and they also have a high youth fraction, and also like there is a multiracial there's a very high multiracial presence in South Africa. So all these are reasons why South Africa had a very high revenue. Then also there's also reasons why Nigeria and Kenya and Ghana could not perform as good. Reason being for Nigeria could be because of the insecurity issues in Nigeria. It affects like the socio-economic factors and make Nigeria not to perform as well as South Africa. Then Kenya, the reason for that is that there is a limited reach due to the rural settlements and also the presence of competition from other apps in Kenya. So that's that from me.
Okay, thank you very much, Felix.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So next up, we have the average of revenue for a month joined. So basically, because we have countries that are spread across the continent, we have as far down as South Africa, we have Nigeria, Kenya, and all of that. We consider that seasons could also affect revenue inflow. So considering that South Africa brings in the highest inflow, it would make sense that because they have colder months in the later part of the year, like leaning to October, November, December, they have winter. This would affect them using a fitness app because, I mean, people are covered up during the colder months of the year. And it's like, okay, I don't really have to show my body and all of that. And that would really affect the usage of a fitness app. So analyzing the data, the problem that we did find was there was a high install to uninstall rate. 85% of users who installed FitFarm uninstalled it. So that just means that somewhere along the course of using the product, users were unsatisfied. And there was also a 51% install to registration rate. So possibly we're looking at the possible causes of this is could be onboarding challenges and customer stickiness. So our proposed strategy. So the strategy would lean more towards retention and improving customer stickiness. Basically, this would be leaning on product-led sales. So beginning with the onboarding, we would, because the onboarding process is, considering that there is a high rate of people who install, there isn't a high rate of people who register after installing. There could be a problem with the onboarding. The onboarding could be lengthy. It could be very tasking and tedious. So beginning with the onboarding, we would look to integrate APIs to create a seamless onboarding process, such as Google, Facebook, or even possibly just Apple, to improve installation to registration rates. To improve the retention rate, FitFarm could consider increasing value propositions for both the standard and the pro plans. We could also reward loyalty and create referral programs with in-app rewards to increase retention. So this could include discounts for paying for plans in bulk, discounts after referring people to get them to pay more. We could also optimize the in-app features to ensure users are satisfied to really build on that. So one thing that we did have, which was among our unique value proposition, is that we have wellness communities. So to optimize that more, that product in the app, because people just really want to belong and be a part of something. And we recognize that, okay, because we are a fitness app and we're selling this thing of, oh, you don't need a physical personal trainer, or you don't need to go to an actual physical gym. There can be that sense of loneliness. So we create communities in the app that people can belong to be a part of something. So further, would optimize that. So maybe partner people with the same fitness goals so that they could motivate each other and basically create an accountability program around that. So we could also include rewards for product engagement, like milestones to improve retention and basically help people to achieve more of their fitness goals. So maybe if someone had a goal and they achieved that goal, we would reward them in the app or things like that. So that's it from FitFarm. Thank you for listening. This is Team Kita.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Eme. That was quick and that was great. Thank you. So over to our panelists. I shall. I.
Okay, let me go first then.
Mm.
I'm not sure I was able to get over the whole drama surrounding the presentation, right? And that's what basically happened in the real life situation. I understand that you have, oh, I was trying to set up permissions here and there, but in the real world, nobody cares, right? I need to be very honest with you, especially when you're presenting to decision makers. One thing you need to know about decision makers is that they have a very short attention span. And one thing they don't have is time. So if you're going to be pitching or explaining the project, the least you can do is get yourself together before you start. So it doesn't matter whether your internet is bad, doesn't matter whether your light is bad or your laptop is hanging. It affects decisions. So key teachable moment there for the team. That's number one. I just wasn't able to get over that particular. So that's all I have to say.
All right, thank you, Shil. Thank you. I believe that they have taken that and they're going to work on it as individuals and as a team.
Hi.
Hi
guys. Hi team. Okay. So yeah, this is any. So I like the solution, the part where you talk about it, building a community in app to get people to engage. That was good. So how you got your solutions were okay. But I feel like you could have done a lot more with the data that you were given, right? It felt like you didn't. It felt like you didn't really look at the numbers and say, okay, so let's work it in, because you're presenting to, even if you're presenting to C-level execs and people who don't have a lot of time, you should still be able to show the data that you worked with or whatever was happening from month to month. So what you had really was just like maybe some bold figures slapped on. Yes, they like to see that, but still let them see that this is the data, this is what we were working with. And I think that the presentation deck itself could have been better. It felt very slapped on, and there was a lot of text in some places, and it's for some people who, as Sean had mentioned, have like a short attention span, who have a short attention span. You might want to keep them interested in what you're doing, but the slides were just like either they were text heavy or there was too much space, and then you didn't really play around with images to tell the story. So that's something to think about, but I'd say good job with the solutions that you had provided.
Right. Thank you so much for that, NEA. That was a great observation. Thank you so much. So I think that I shall comments, questions. I
am here. Yeah. Right. Well done to the guys, right? And this is tricky, right? I like the presentation at the end of the day, right? I liked what you were able to do with the data, right? But at the end of the day, sometimes it's these nuances that are super important in the business environment, right? Because I mean, there are unforeseen circumstances that happen that are totally out of our control, right? So it's just often best we are like scouts and we're, prepared in a certain way so that there are certain activities that don't take the the attention of the stakeholders away from the insight and the information that we're trying to present, right? So, but all in all, I think it was a great presentation, and of course, great work to the guys as well.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the feedback. And Team Sita, I hope we have taken this and we're going to make use of all of these comments, and everybody is learning as we proceed. So as we are moving, we are learning as people, we are learning as as an individual. So please let's take all of this and make corrections to what we, based on the feedback that we have gotten. So we have the last team to present, that is Team Sigma. And I, Osas, are you ready?
Hi, Adiola. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, so yes, you can proceed. I think I need to go. Yes. So you can, yes, go ahead. Take us.
Can you just help me with the presentation, if that's fine?
Okay, all right. Try to get the slide and do that. A minute, please. So I have. Okay, please let me know when we can see my screen.
Yes, you can see your screen.
Okay.
All right. So our presentation is focused mainly on the problems we discovered while analyzing data and proposing like some solutions. Just 4 slides, fine.
Is this fine?
Next slide. All right, so just a brief overview on our target audience, mainly people between ages 25 to 45, and pain points. They are not physically fit. They're interested in fitness, in just their fitness journey generally. They each have individual goals that they have towards their fitness journey, and they want to look good, have a vibrant social life, or just keep them stay healthy and fit in general. Next slide, please.
Iosas, if you are trying to speak, we cannot hear you. So yes, we can hear you now. We could not hear you earlier.
So we created a user persona just for time.
So Osas, your voice is breaking. I don't know if there is any other person in your team that would like to help with the presentation.
Someone in our target slide. So from our user persona that we got, and that also streamlined some of the solutions that we proposed, or I'd rather say, well, strategy solutions implementations that we proposed for the problem. Next slide, please. All right, next slide. So I'll just explain. I'll use this. So for the install and uninstall rates, when we analyzed the data after breaking it down, we realized we had high install rates between January and February, and also by then after that period, we realized that there was a lot of uninstall rates afterwards, and a lot of people, well, would say churn. People didn't come back to using the app or using our app. So we realized that people that installed our app because they were trying to it was during preparing for Valentine's period, and it was women that we had, and they were just trying to ahead of Valentine's period trying to look good, and so that was why we had that high install rate, because we had created a Valentine's Day offer. So obviously the uninstall rate was recorded after Valentine's period, and that was because people had hit their fitness goals, and they realized that they probably didn't need it long term anymore. And also another problem was that they didn't understand, or they didn't get as much value. The value wasn't properly communicated.
So I'm not sure if it's just me that can't hear Osas properly. Can every other person hear Osas?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, we can hear Osas. You can hear me. Can you hear Osas?
Can't hear Osas.
Okay, all right. So I've been having issues hearing Osas. So I don't know if anybody in the team is going to take over from Osas. I matter. No, matter.
Hi, Adiola.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you just take over from Osas?
Okay. So over 50% of uninstall rates was recorded around February, between January to February. Sorry, after February, because most of our users had hit their goal, which was to keep fit for the Valentine period. We had more female users at that period. So after that time, we recorded much more uninstall rates than before. And part of the problems was that users were not properly informed about the health values of FitFarm. And our follow-up and communication strategy was not very effective to retain those users. Next slide, please. So the proposed solutions are to follow up with push notifications and emails that are very convincing to compel these people to come back. And we have also thought about creating a virtual community for FitFarm users to help them achieve a common goal. We are going to be putting together a community where both male and female users who want to lose weight at a particular time, between a particular time to a time, will be able to convene and achieve their goals together. We will also be tracking and celebrating each user's milestone and goal and accomplishment, as well as positioning the health as value of FitFarm app. Yes, through our emails and our push notifications, we would be telling them the health value of FitFarm application. Next slide, please. So this is our data analysis for revenue per channel and country. We had less users from Ghana, from Kenya, from Nigeria, and also from Uganda. Next slide, please. Part of the problems were that there was no personal training or nutrition service offered at the time, and The revenue being higher in some countries is affiliated with the fact that countries like Kenya recorded customers subscribing to more of the standard plan, even though we had a pro plan. And most members were stuck with just content to do. There was no visual presentation of how to, there was no proper guide for users on our app. Next slide, please. So our proposed solution to this problem is to launch a custom apparel and a merchandise. We would be launching custom shirts and sneakers and shorts with our logo on it, just to promote FitFarm. And we'll also be organizing fitness classes and individual training session, as well as the community, which we already mentioned, to create a community feeling for our users. And we'll be including a nutrition service, as well as personalized workout plan tailored to each customer's unique goal. Next slide, please. So between January 2019 to January 2021, we had much more user counts in September, and we lost users around May. Next slide, please. The problems were that after our 30 days free trial, which we gave to new users, there was no clear reminder or follow-up strategy, no proper communication to keep in touch and retain users. And there were about 45% of churn rate, which was recorded towards the end of the year. Therefore, revealing to us that customers had lost their initial excitement in starting and continuing their fitness journey. Next slide, please. Our solutions are to rework our onboarding plan for new customers, reduce the onboarding process so that it doesn't take too long to put them on board and they don't lose interest along the way. We'll also be sharing feedback forms with customers to access their personalized experience and improve our services. Would respond promptly to feedback by improving our customer service strategies and communicating proactively with customers. Would also be offering exclusive incentives such as referral programs to existing customers, and we'll be creating a content map to filter customers back into the funnel, as well as in-app reminders and being transparent. So for the next slide, please. For the average order value, Sigma Fitness recorded the highest average order around July 2019 on an average of $874 per user, and we recorded the lowest around January 2021, which was $20, as well as January 2020, which was $26. Next slide, please. Now, what we figured out was that 81% of our subscribers in January were acquired via Google paid search, which cost more compared to other channels we use. The lowest was organic search. Facebook ad had the second highest reach. Our target users were largely affected by post-pandemic economic constraints in 2021, and that was why we had a lower record. Inflation and post-pandemic constraints were preventing the purchasing power, was reducing the purchasing power of our target audience. Also, our target users are in countries like Uganda, Kenya, Ghana, and South Africa. In most of these countries, it's been recorded that towards the end of the year, most of them spend 80% of their income on Christmas bills. So this is why around January, we usually have a lower record. Next slide, please. The proposed solutions are to introduce the FitFarm Better Plan and a Fit a Friend referral program. What the FitFarm Better Plan does is that it helps each user to get more than 1 month plan at a discounted rate. You can get a 2-month plan, a 3-month plan at a discounted rate. And the Fit a Friend a friend referral program gives each user 20% cash commission if you refer someone to Fit Farm. We have come up with a better plan so that our users will be able to subscribe ahead of a new year. We'll also be launching a new campaign via paid search, and be working on our organic content strategy. Next slide, please.
Hi, Mata.
Hi, Adiola.
This is all that I have with me. So probably just continue. I'll try to see if I can get another one.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
This is all, like, this is the one I have access to. So yes.
Okay.
So I'll just continue with your presentation. I'll try to see if I can get.
So in summary, Fit Farm is going to be improving their content strategy organically so that we can reduce how often we use paid ads and resort to much more cheaper strategies to acquiring customers. We would also be focusing our content to users in countries such as Nigeria and Uganda, of which we've recorded a lower rate of usage. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Martha. Thank you for taking over when Osas had a minor issue. I would like to hand it over to the panelists. Aisha, Eneye.
Hi, Angela. Let me go first. So, and thanks, guys. I think one of the things I particularly liked was you could tell that, like, people who worked on the slides were familiar with the content on there, because the second speaker was able to take it on and run with it, which is good. Then I liked how the data, so you went past looking at the data, the spikes, the dips, and went into thinking about how some things or why some things happened. I think at the start, one of the feedback that I gave initially was that we need to look for trends. And you being able to say something like spend dipped in January, subscriptions dipped in January because XYZ is something to always hold on to be able to just see, not just see the data and call out the percentage increase or decrease, but like what it could have meant or what could have caused it to happen. Based on human habits or their spending habits. That was a good one. Good job, guys. Yeah, but one last thing I think you could have done with fewer words on the slide. Your slides towards the end, or the slides just had a lot of text going on. People don't like to see that. So tell a lot more engaging stories, but fewer words on your slide.
All right, thank you so much, Eneye. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you, Team Sigma. Sheon Adiola. Sheon Olaiwola. Any questions, any feedback for Team Sigma?
Okay. Yeah, I thought that was really great. I mean, the way the team was able to bounce back. I think the beauty of this session is to simulate a real life experience. And yeah, things happen. And the second speaker was able to just flow as though she was the first speaker. So I thought that was very good. And in terms of how the information was presented, I thought it was very clear, very linear, and also quite different from the way everybody presented their ideas. Yeah, fewer text to be helpful. And then at some point I thought the speaker was reading something, right? So being able to not just sound so monotonous, and just inflect your voice, I could do this. The data suggests that we can do, and I could do from data, it suggests that, or data suggests that, like, just inflect your voice a little bit. It helps. It changes how people take the information you share. So yeah, I would say it's a good one for me. No complaints. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the feedback, and I hope the team already take that and they're going to work on it. They're going to work on these moving on based on the feedback and the comments that they've gotten. Thank you so much. I think we can take questions now, just general questions. If you have questions for the panelists, we can ask questions before we review the final assessment score for this session. So we can ask questions. You can ask questions as individuals. You can ask questions as a team before we end the session finally. So if you have any questions, you can raise up your hand and you can unmute. You can also drop it in the chat section so that we pick it up for us to answer the question. So this is question time. All of the team have done so great. You guys have done very well. You pulled your weight. You've dedicated time and energy into this. Well done to all of the team. Team Sigma, Team Theta, Team Beta, Team Gamma, and Team Zeta. You guys have done very, very well. Well done, guys. So if you have any questions, we have the floor so that our panelists can take these questions and answer. So if you have any questions, please, you can unmute to ask your question. Okay, we have one hand raised. Let's keep it coming, please. Okay, so Dr. you can go ahead to ask your question.
Hi, Adiola. Thank you. So my question is this: in a real life scenario, which is more important? Is this the data interpretation or the strategy put forward, the inferences? Is that which is more important? And then what are the implications of wrongly interpreting a data?
Okay, let me answer that one. So these things are nuanced, right? Largely depends on the type of people you're talking to, right? So one thing about accurate data interpretation is that it gives credibility to you, right? So it's like pouring, it's like this Yoruba proverb where you pour cold water on the floor so that you can step on a cold floor. I don't know what that means in English, but it makes everything easier for you when you have like a strong command of data appreciation. People in the room trust you more. So even if towards the end or somewhere in between, you have some gaps here and there, or you're not exactly accurate, the fact that you've presented a strong data core makes it seem like you know what you're doing, even if you might not know what you're doing, right? So that's why, data interpretation, data analysis, if someone told you something, if someone walked to you, you're a decision maker, and said, young people don't buy insurance policies. And maybe for some reason, your nephews, your nieces, your cousins all have insurance policies. There's a tendency that person would become defensive towards you because they are in their world. Young people have insurance policies. But when you show data that says, according to the Nigerian insurance, blah, 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 2022, 18% of people who bought insurance policies were in this bracket, only 2% were below 25, right? When you then say young people don't buy insurance policies, even the person who doesn't agree can't argue with data. So they can just argue what's the source of your data. And if your source is very strong, nobody's going to argue with you. And anyone who argues looks stupid. So that's the data part, right? You asked two other questions or one other question. I'm not sure I remember that. Can you refresh?
Yes, but I guess it's already covered. I asked what is the implication of wrongly interpreting the data. Okay, you put the data forward, but the data you give was wrong. How does it tell or know you are presenting to us?
Okay, that could go two ways. It could be that your source is invalid, right? That's another cup of tea, right? And it could be that your source is valid, but what you said is invalid. So it's, in my world, right? It's better to analyze an invalid source correctly, right? So maybe that particular data source is not empirical. It's debatable, right? You can say, okay, I'll come back to you with another source. That's different. But when you analyze a valid source and your interpretation is wrong, that just means that you don't know what you're doing. And I can't trust your strategy. Yeah, so there you have it.
Thank you so much. I hope that answers your question, Oluwadotun.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, thank you very much.
All right, so we have another person, and we have Oluwabusayo with she has a question or she has a comment or something. So before Oluwabusayo goes, sorry to interrupt. Before you ask your question, so I'm going to drop the link for our feedback. So we are going to be dropping our feedback while the question is ongoing. So please let's make sure to drop our feedback so that we would know what to work on and how to improve in coming time. So Oluwabusayo, you can go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask that. Thank you for the feedback and everything. I was going to ask that, are there instances where like in a startup or something, there is an actual data analyst doing the interpretation and just the marketing team providing the strategy? Does the product marketer has to is he usually every time the product marketer is doing the data analysis part, or is there an actual data analyst most times? Yeah. I'm sorry, please, did you hear me?
Yes, we heard you. So I don't know if, okay, I think Sheon will go.
Okay, let me just help out here. If it's a startup, the probability that there is a data analyst, dedicated data analyst, is very slim, very slim. You need your data for marketing purposes. You need to analyze your data yourself. Why? You also need your data for, not just for strategy building, you also need data, you need an understanding of data to optimize your campaigns, right? So this was your plan, this was your strategy. Along the line, data suggests something else. You need to be able to iterate. And if you don't understand the data you're looking at, you can't make those decisions. So it's a skill you need to have. Then maybe it's a funded startup, a larger business. Yes, there might be a data analyst, but that data analyst will not be analyzing that data for you, for your planning's sake, right? It will most likely be analyzing data on, user behavior on the app, in terms of churn, retention, all of that. So you might have somebody doing all of that for you. also profitability analysis and all that, which goes beyond your own scope of work in some cases, right? But in all, you still need data appreciation skills. You might not be able to use all the fancy tools, but at least on the surface level, you should be able to work with maybe Excel or Google Sheets and be able to explain what that means and tie it back to the business. So I hope that's helpful.
I hope that answered your question, Busaya.
Oh, yes, it did. Thank you.
All right, that's great one. So I don't know if any other person has any questions. Let's take the questions. Let's ask our questions. Ask your questions, get clarifications to what you think that where you are having issues, what you're having issues with. And our panelists are still much air, so you can ask the questions. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Okay, looks like no one has any question. Martha, do you have any question?
No, I don't have any question.
Oladoyin, any question?
Not at all.
Abiola, probably just call everybody on the call. Felix, okay, I think I have, okay. Hi, Jackson.
Hi, Adiola. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I have a question.
Please go ahead.
So in terms of aesthetics and their presentation style, is it really very important when doing presentation? Because for me personally, I have a challenge on that. I might not be very good in putting the colors, and the pictures, but probably have very good content. So my question is, how is the aesthetics, are they very important in a presentation?
Yeah. Let me take it. So I think one point to raise here is that so not everybody will know how to put presentations together. And as a person, sometimes I go on, say on Splash, all these sites with photos, and I spend a long time there because I can't make up my mind. But you have tools like, say, Canva and the rest that you can use as templates to create your slides. But to make a case for aesthetics, you are trying to tell a story, right? You have the data, the facts, the hard percentages, the total spend, you have this, you have that, but you are trying to tell a story with the data, right? And it's important that the people you're telling the story to can understand and stay with you during the process. Now, if you have a lot of text slapped on and you're not connecting this dot to that dot, or when you're talking about the customer or the consumer, they can't relate or connect to the person you're talking to because they don't see, anything. You're going to have people who are not interested, not listening to you. You've lost them at some point. And if you are talking to the decision makers, they'll probably be on their phones if your document is not captivating or engaging enough. Now, you don't need to always search for slides and everything. It can be simple. It doesn't have to have too many pictures or a lot of coloring, but it should be able to tell a story. And most of the time, the way you put things together, that's what makes up the aesthetic. That's what makes it pleasing to people. So as a person who doesn't think that he has the hard numbers, I'd say that start off with getting all the information you want to get, what you want to say, and then look for pieces, different things that you can use to communicate or tell the person that, oh, I'm speaking to I'm talking about a 15-year-old girl who likes TikTok, likes this, like that. When they see her on the slides, or when they see something that connects to that audience, target audience on the slide, they can immediately say, oh, this is what this is talking about, as opposed to audience, girl, 15 years old, likes TikTok, likes that. People can still get that, but it's important that you tell a story. That is how you sell whatever market you're trying to sell.
Okay, I get you. So probably what you're saying is, if you're putting makeup, you put a bit of makeup, not too much.
You don't need, yeah, it doesn't need to be extra. Know what you have, what you want to say, and then just make it easier for people to understand.
Okay. Then the other question that I also want to ask, I think when I saw the presentation for the first two teams, they really went deeply into the analysis. And also I saw other things that were introduced into their presentations that we were not asked directly from the question. I don't know if that is recommended in the sense that you need to give a bit of a background on, for example, I saw one of the teams even coming up with the user persona on their presentation, although we were not asked that directly on the case study. I don't know, do you need to put a bit of a background when doing such presentations?
Okay, let me break the silence, right? In any marketing strategy, you should always have a clear what you call audience definition. So you might want to go through demographic and psychographic breakdown of your target audience. So you're basically building a profile, so when you make it believable, like when you say, oh, Kwame, when you say Ajode, right, or whatever, it's just to make it relatable to the audience, right? You don't have to say Kwame, you don't have to say Femi, do you understand? But it helps. But what you have to do, what you must do, is try to explain what's the reason to believe for this person. When we say reason to believe, why should this person interact with you? What's their motivation? What are their greatest pain points? How do they consume media? What's their basic behavior? What's their disposable income like? Do you understand? What are their spending habits?
Yeah.
It helps streamline your strategy. It will help you in execution, and it's also help your audience know that you know exactly what you're talking to and who exactly you're targeting. Yeah,
sure. Thank you for both responses.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the responses. So I don't know if any other person has any questions or if there are any comments. Emma, do you have any questions?
Hi. No, thank you.
Okay, all right. Abiola, any questions? Felix, do you have any questions? Petra, Damola, Valentine, Jubril, Tolu, Uchuke, any questions? Falake, Molola, Damola. No questions. Okay, so I'll take the silence as there are no questions, and we can go to as I've said that
Yeah, I just have a very quick question, maybe for the panel and for yourself. based on the output you've seen today from the presentation, what would you say the success rate of this cohort has been? Yes.
Of the
cohort of the 6-week bootcamp, how would you rate it based on the output you've seen today? This is for the panel and for.
Okay, for the panel. Okay, I am for the panelists. So yeah, I would like the panelists to go first because they are able to state they're able to express themselves based on what they were able to see, and what they were able to see today is as a result of the things that based on the learnings that we have had previously. So I would like the panelists to help with the answer to that question. Hi, Seun Olaiwola.
Hi, Adiola.
Yes. Did you get the question?
No, I did not get question, sorry.
Okay, so I would like to rephrase the question he asked. So he's asking that based on the performance today, based on the presentation, how would you rate the course, the bootcamp as a whole? Like how has the students performed? How would you rate in general? How would you rate the bootcamp? I guess that is right, Ochuke. That is the question you asked, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, let
yeah.
me just, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the success of the?
Oh, wow. Okay. So first off, right, I think that all of you guys have done like putting a lot of time, right, and effort into, taking this data apart and coming up with insights, and not just insights, strategy, and presenting this information in a simple manner that others are able to just follow and understand. And for me, this is particularly good because I remember like when we just started talking about data and the first sessions and trying to just make sense out of metrics and visualization and all of that, and seeing how much seeing the application of all of that knowledge, right? It's good for me. I would say that overall, it's hard for me to place a number, right? But I think it's way above 7 at least. So yeah, like for me, I think that you guys have put in a lot of work, and I see it, and I think that you, in a lot of ways, are ready for whatever you think that you are going to do with the rest of your career, actually.
All right, thank you so much for that, Seun. Seun Adiola, I don't know if you'd like to also make contributions to that.
Okay. Yeah, I thought it was a good one. I mean, considering the fact that most people on the call, or a number of people on the call, this is their first exposure to something like this, right? Because what Trevor has done here is give you a real life scenario. It's a proper brief, like end to end. If you took up a job in this field tomorrow, the expectations of your role, as an executive or whatever, will be along the lines of this brief. So the way guys reacted to it, I thought it was, or the way people reacted to it, I thought it was really impressive. I mean, the boot camp was for how long, and you can already respond to briefs that at this level. So I thought that was very great, fantastic. Lots of teachable moments also. The presentation is not to to make you feel bad or anything. It's just to make you, it's a teachable moment, right? For you to learn how it works in a real life environment, right? So yeah, that's very good. Then one thing I'd like to say is that I like the fact that no 5 teams had the same perspective to the brief, right? Everybody's approach was different. Everybody's perspective and style was different. Just shows that like there's so much brilliance in the room. So yeah, well done, guys, and well done, Trefford. It's great.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that, Jill. And I hope that everyone heard the part where he said this whole presentation is not to judge, is not to criticize anyone's work, but to also like to just make us learn and also to point out the things that we can improve on. So it is not, it's just everyone has done absolutely well, everyone has done perfectly well, and everyone has dedicated so much time and energy into this. And also personally, you can go forward and get case study to work on and real life projects to work on, and you're going to smash it. So don't feel any way if you were expecting your team to maybe ace, like you all aced it. So like don't feel some type of way. And I believe that you have taken the feedback as constructive criticism, and you're going to make use of this as a person, and also within your team, you guys are going to discuss on what to do going forward so that you get more insights also as an individual. Yes, I don't know if any has anything to add to this.
No, I think overall, I'm very impressed because I thought back to how I started out in marketing a couple years ago, and I do not know that I would have smashed a brief. I do not know that I would have smashed a brief after just about a month or 6 weeks of training. And so I'll say, good job, Trefford. Like, this is really good, and good job, guys. Another thing is, some of the decks that you presented would get you, usually when you apply for a role, product marketing, they will send you some kind of brief. I'd say that some of your presentations will get your foot in the door, would actually get you like an interview, if they sent out the brief first. And then you can sell yourself further. So good job. The feedback is just to help you improve on your style as you go forward. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I don't know if there are any other questions. We can take one more question, one or two, and if there are no questions, then we proceed to sharing the results and also the feedback that we've gotten from the session. So if anybody also has anything to ask, please let's make sure to ask now. So I'm just going to, I think I'll take the silence as there are no questions, there are no comments. So I would like our panelists to give, if there are further information or comments that you would like to give to our students, as this is the last weekend of the boot camp and it's been an intense one. A lot of people have like they have jobs that they work at, and like they've been able to dedicate this time to this course, and they've been active, they've been participating actively, and they've been turning in their task, and they've dedicated a lot of their time. And yes, thank you so much, guys, for that, for always showing up and not ghosting when it's time for live sessions. Thank you for that. I don't know if our panelists have any other comments to pass while I try to share my screen I'll start with the feedback for this session, actually. So from the feedback, then we'll move to the results for the session for all the team. So as I share the results, let's not feel any type of way. And like I've been saying since the beginning of the session, we've all done great, we've all done well, and we've all heard the panelists and the comments that they've given. So this is not to judge anybody's effort. This is not to judge anybody, and this is not to water down anybody's efforts. This is just something that we want, we believe that you can work on and you can improve on as you proceed from here. So I Sheon Adela, Sheon Olaiwola. I don't know if you have any other comments for the students.
Nothing from me. Thank you.
All right.
I think just one thing, right? Now you've learned so much. Stay at it. Don't switch to something else in 3 months or 6 months. Because that's a mistake a lot of people make. Stay at it. Do this for some years. Then, yeah. Stay at this line, even if it's difficult. That's all from me.
All right, thank you so much for that. I hope we have all heard. So I don't know if Sheon Olaiwola has something to add, comments.
Well, yes, and I agree with what Shinwa said, especially, right? I think it's important, right? We all know that it takes a lot of time to master a skill, right? And some of the rewards that we might be expecting from mastering this skill might not be upright, might not come up front like now, right? But as Sean said, even if it's difficult, if you keep at it, right, time rewards like good work, and so keep up the good work.
All right, thank you so much. So let's keep up the good work. Let's keep up the good work, and let's try not to switch career path in the next, say, 1 year, so that we're able to stoke ourselves into this that we've gotten into. So we got feedback for the session. This is a written session. This is a written poll where we had 10 responses from, I'm not impressed though, but we had 10 responses on this feedback. So we say, how did you like this session? We had 20% of 20% of the people that voted said that it was a 3, 10% says it was a 4, and then 70% says it is a 5, and which brings us to an average of 4.5 for the session on a scale of 5. Thank you for that. That is not a bad rating, a good one. Thank you. And let's move on to the other questions. So we have, what is your key takeaway from this session? So someone says good presentation. Then someone says Sheon Adiola is an ADBA product marketer. He brought a lot of experience to share. Kudos to NEA and Sheon Olaiwola as well for providing really helpful insights. Yes, I agree with this person. Thank you for that. Seeing how we all approach our case studies differently reiterates the idea towards that there is no one way to do a strategy. Thankful to the panelists too for their feedback, really helpful. Insightful, a product marketer has to pay attention to the data, the importance of data analysis. It's important for all the team members to work together, like what happened with Sigma team today. It was really impressive. Thank you so much for the feedback. Thank you for these comments. Thank you for this feedback. So we move on to the last question, which says, what do you wish we could improve? Say someone said nothing at the moment, then panelists should address the values same way as strategies. All right. Okay. I think we add an extra time to prepare for case study. I think if we add an extra time to prepare for case studies, then most of the groups would have performed better. All right, taking that, we had so much to do in little time, so it wasn't easy. All right, thank you so much for the feedback, and would make sure to improve on that from now. So I don't know if this person would like to shed more light on the panelists so that they are able to maybe answer if there's any questions surrounding this so that they're able to answer it. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you for the feedback. Thank you for staying till this moment. And yes, we'll be getting our results very, very, very soon. Very soon. So if you have anything to say, hi, Jubril. Hi, Jubril, can you hear me?
Hey, Adriana. I can hear you.
Yeah. How was the session for you?
It was nice. It was pretty insightful. I got to learn from other groups about what we could have done. I got to know about things that we did well as a team. So yeah, it was pretty great. And then the panelists were really nice. They really gave some good insight, like I said before. And then I would work on it and I would get better.
All right, that is a great one. Thank you for that. So I vow. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, well done.
How are you doing today? How are you doing today? I can't hear you. We are trying to speak. Hi, can you hear me? Okay, so I can't hear Val. Hi, Tolu. Good afternoon. Can anyone hear me? Okay, Tolu. Oh, looks like Tolu cannot unmute a mic. Okay. All right, Tolu, no problem. That's fine. So we can unmute to say thank you to our facilitators. Oh, all right, Jubro. So we can unmute to say thank you to our panelists. I'm so used to facilitators. So we can unmute to say thank you to our panelists, appreciate them. And I am trying to put up the results for the session. Hi, Ochuke, please go ahead to speak.
Yeah, just wanted to say thank you on behalf of everybody here, to the panelists for being here, for the feedback, for the insights, really helpful. And most importantly, to Trevor for putting this together. It's been an insightful 6 weeks for me personally, and then for Adiola for your effort towards this whole session. 6 weeks. Especially when you speak, I don't want to respond, but yeah, to keep going. Yeah, I can't imagine how that feels, but yeah, thank you, Adiola. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, panelists. Thank you, everyone that's part of this team.
All right, thank you so much, Ochuke. Thank you for that. And thank you guys for always hearing me. Sometimes I'm just looking, why am I talking to myself? Nobody's responding to me. But it's fine. It's all for the experience, and it's really great. And the fact that I like the fact that I don't back up and I don't back down to continue speaking, even if you guys are not going to respond to me. But it's been a great 6 weeks for me, and meeting everyone on the bootcamp has been a great experience. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Chuki, for that. Oh, hi, Val. All right. Would you like to speak now? No, sure, Val. Still. Okay. All right. Hi, Oladoyin.
Hi.
Hi. How has it been for you? How was the session, and what have you, not exactly what have you learned, but just general comments on how this session was for you, and the boot camp.
The boot camp
Okay.
was good. Oh, okay. Should I hold on?
Please hold on. Sorry about that. Hi, Val, can you hear me now?
Yes, network has been fluctuating. Yes. I wanted to
Okay.
say, like I mentioned, well done to Adiola, well done to Trefford. It has been a good program, especially the issue of using data to interpret decisions is very key. It's a progression around you need to use data to take decisions. From my background, this issue about customer attrition is very, very key. So customer attrition, understanding why customers leave, talk about churn and the churn rate. You know, those are the key things. And for me, this is a program I want to recommend to my people, which was one of the objectives of joining the bootcamp in the first place. Also, find out the level of content and detail is something I would recommend to my people as time goes on. So thank you for this, and thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for that. Thank you for the kind words, and yes, thank you for also always being available to join the session. And it's a great one, and it's really nice to meet you. Although like I've not met anyone in person, but it's really nice to meet you, and someday hopefully we meet in person. I see that we have some guests in the session, so I would like to we can hear their voices. Hi, Uchenna. Hi, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Hi, good afternoon. I can hear you.
All right. I see that you are our guest, and how has the session been for you? How was the presentation for you?
So I really liked all of the presentations. I think that everybody brought their own uniqueness to the table, because there were just different things like different people touched on, and it was really interesting to hear from everyone, from all the groups. So well done, everyone.
All right, thank you so much, Uche. Thank you for that. Thank you for the kind words. All right, Oladoyin. Hi, Oladoyin.
Hi.
Yeah. All right.
Yes, I'm here. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I laughed when you mentioned the part that maybe what I've not learned is what how this session was generally.
Okay.
It was funny. That was because I think you could relate with where I'm coming from. So I don't know, but it was funny. The bootcamp has been a good one. It has been stretchy, really, and I want to appreciate you for your patience and for Trefford for organizing the bootcamp. And I want to appreciate my team members, right? Like they are the real MVP. So, and like the panelists said, that we have to keep learning. For me personally, I know that that's something I must take, because I'm new to everything, like I hear something like SWOT. I remember the first time I heard SWOT analysis on. I've heard it before, but I don't know what it is. So when I heard it here, I was thinking there would be a time maybe they will explain to me the meaning. I'm like, okay, I don't even know what, I'm hearing. How am I supposed to go about it? But then I like the fact that I was around, and it is a good stepping, what's the word? Stepping ground, right? And I'm very sure that with more practice, I'm able to relate better to everything that we've learned. In all sincerity, everything is coming to shape better than before. Everything is making more sense. The data, now I know what SaaS means. So I didn't know that before. I was wondering what was the speaker talking about. So everything is making more sense now. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you, Adiola. Thank you for always answering my questions. And to my team members, sincerely, I must especially appreciate them. They are really good. All the team members I had over the course of the whole bootcamp, I think I was in like 2 groups. So thank you, everyone.
All right, Doyin, thank you for that. So I'm supposed to be sharing the results right now, but we have a little issue. So we're still trying to collect the results. So please stay with us on the call. So I would like my colleague to speak, and we have something that would like you guys to do and rep on on your social media. Hi, Feromi. Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, Adiola. What's up? Hi, everybody.
So Feromi will provide us with more details on this.
Great session. I've been here for a long time. Big ups. Team Gamma, Beta, Zeta, Theta, and Sigma, man. I am gingered. I want to do more after this session, yeah. So in quest to market ourselves so far in our marketing journey, because there's a saying that goes that if you don't blow your own trumpet, nobody will definitely blow your trumpet for you. So we really like if you can share your journey with Treford and your product marketing journey so far, which might actually be a way to skyrocket yourself into the marketing space and have someone show interest in investing in your product marketing career. So I'll be sharing an hashtag with you right now. So just share your marketing journey, your product marketing Cohort 5 bootcamp journey with us so far. And let's just cheer you up here, waiting for you guys. So take care. See you guys in the future. Bye.
All right. All right. Thank you for that, Feromi. So the hashtag, Feromi is going to be dropping hashtag Allen with Treford. Then I have also added another hashtag, which is hashtag Treford Demo Day. And we can all rep these hashtags on our social media platforms. So yeah, I am just apologies. I'm trying to okay. So I think that we can share the results soon, very, very soon. So I would not like, as I said earlier, I would not like anything to feel some type of way. We have all done great and we've done perfectly well. And I just believe that we can only get better. We are learning every day. So let us take this feedback and these feedbacks and these comments that we've gotten. Let's try to make use of them. And this project that we've all done is something that you can share with potential employees. And if you are able to defend the things that you were able to do while on the bootcamp, it is a great way to start your career as product marketers. So well done, guys, and also thank you. So I think I would like to have another visit or another. Yes, Eitayo. Good afternoon. I see that you've been with us in the beginning of the session.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
All right. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good
afternoon. One thing now, like when Sean was responding to one of your panelists, when he was responding to the group, there was a group that had a hitch with their maybe presentation or something like that. They were not able to share their screen for a while. And then when Sean was to give his feedback, he said he could not get past the drama. I could not understand that. I mean, there must be something you should say. You shouldn't get stuck because something happened. You should be able to surmount what you're facing and speak about the better side of it. But it was just stuck. So, I mean, that one got me like, what is this? You understand? Then another thing is said at the end of it all, that what they have learned, what the students have learned, that they should stick with it. And that's one thing there's wisdom in that, don't keep on jumping. Okay, I want to try this skill. I want to try another one. Stick to this one and become very good in what you're doing. I see sense in that. Yeah. So that's just what I want to add.
All right, Tayo, thank you so much for that. Thank you for pointing that out. And I believe that is a solid point. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. And thank you for being on this session with us.
Thank you too.
Yes, we are glad to have you. So yeah, so I'm going to be sharing my results now. Why did I call it my results? The results, our results now. So yes. Just a minute. So if you have any questions for me, I think I'm just going to stop record. I want to share the results before. Just a minute. So if you have any questions for me, I think this is the time to ask me. So any questions for me? Any questions, any questions, any questions? Okay, so I guess there are no questions. I shall. Okay, so I'm just going to share my screen right about now. I'm so sorry for the delay. I just need everything to be collated so that I'm not sharing an abridged version of the results. Just want everything to be plain and very accurate before I share my screen. Getting to trying to get one column fixed. Aisha, are you still with us? All right, so I think I'm just going to share my screen as it is. A minute, please. Please let me know when we can see my screen. Okay. Okay. So I think I'm just going to. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so here is the result of the, yes, here's our results for the session. So we have team Gamma, team Beta, team Zeta, team Theta, and team Sigma. And as we can see, here is the results. So we didn't share, I didn't share the slides with the facilitators before the session, so that there is no bias before, like they are not able to access these slides before the session, and it doesn't create any form of bias before, like for their judgment. So not judgments, for their assessments. And all of them got to see these projects, the slides that were shared with me during the session. So as each team was presenting, I was populating I was putting the slide up per each team on the sheet. That is what you can see as in the project. So here is the results based on the assessment from the facilitators, from the panelists. Apologies for that, from the panelists. So we have, for team Gamma, we have 35.6 points. We have we have 107 points in total, and an average of, for the 3 panelists, we have the average of 35.7. If I round it off to 1 decimal place, and a whole number would be 36. Then for team Beta, we have 84 in total, and we have 28 as the average for the team. For team Zeta, 105 as the total points, then 35 points, average of 35 points for the 3 panelists. Then for team Theta, we have for I'm so sorry. Like I didn't know that I honestly had no idea that my screen was off and I was off the presentation and everything. I don't know where we got me to. I just realized that I was not getting any response. Did you get me sharing the results?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so you got all the results, all the assessments, right?
I think you were trying to explain the breakdown. I think that was when we lost you.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for that. Honestly, this network will not kill me. All right. So I was saying that, so I already gave the the results for each of the team. So I was saying that the panelists graded all the team based on these criteria. So based on how as a team, you're able to interpret these data sets and how to find the problems and how you were able to provide solutions to the problems that you discovered and how the team collaboration, how they perceived your collaboration, then aesthetics, communication, and presentation. Then another criteria for this course was based on the timing. So here is the total points for each of the team. And you guys have done, all of the team, as I've mentioned, all of the team has done perfectly well. You guys have done great. And I am rooting for all of you moving forward as individuals. I am rooting for you. And I believe that you're going to be great product marketers as we end this, as you proceed from this boot camp. So you're not just it's not just like you're learning and you are letting this pass through you and you're not going to, but I believe and I am rooting for all of us that you are going to be great product marketers, and I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much, guys. So I don't know if you have any questions for me before we end this session finally. And yes, I think at this point I'm going to stop recording so that